video done by American Standard Dog Training. The Karen Reed murder trial conspiracy. He's a police canine expert, and it proved almost definitively in my mind that was a dog attack. Like, he laid out that theory beautifully. He laid out with the evidence that was shown. Like, it was a really good video. And he has a arm analog that they use for bites. And it's a cast of a human arm. And he shows the dog bites that are in it. And he, bends it so you can actually see what the striations look like. And it's basically identical to what we see in the autopsy pictures. It looks like a dog nipping and biting shallowly because the dog doesn't know how to bite.
And he's pulling his arm away.
Yeah.
Right? That's what
it proved to me. It really definitively proved it in my mind that it was a dog attack.
If we have, based on the fact there's no bruising on his arm where they say the point of impact was, that we know that the car didn't hit him, it honestly, it doesn't matter if he got bit by a dog on or before or after he died, because the dog didn't kill him. Okay.
No.
Unless the dog bit him and he fell and hit his head. I mean, the dog is out of the picture unless the dog was the reason he fell and hit his head.
How do you get all the face damage?
Well, I was just going to say, Braxton, Scott, do you remember Paul O'Keefe's testimony? Do you remember what Paul said when he went to the hospital to see his brother? He said on direct testimony that when he saw him, he looked like he did 10 rounds in an MMA fight. He said it.
But those same injuries could be sustained aside from the scratch on the nose and the cut on the eyelid, right? Those are wounds that happened on the front of his face. Something has to account for that. It might not have happened during the fight. I don't know if this was old, new. It could have been his own hands that hitting his own hand. The black eyes, all that was caused by the impact on the back. The swelling on the brain was so severe that it crushed his spinal column, and the swelling came forward and even broke some of the bones on inside the eye socket from the internal pressure. That's going to cause that swelling. And so I don't buy into that he had to be beat from the front when the wound from the back is enough to justify it. I think there would have been more significant tears on his face if he had been beaten that severely.
The blackening of the eyes could have just been drainage from the brain injury and had nothing to do with being hit or anything in the face.
If you look at the photos that were shown, you have one photo that was taken shortly after his, when he got to the hospital. Then you have an autopsy. The eyes are much more swollen and pronounced. All of that's from brain injury. I'm a first responder. I've said this before. I've been on many, 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 many scenes. I don't know what I dropped. Oh, ice. But what got me in all of this and what got me to believe this was not a car accident is this. I have seen people hit by vehicles. I witnessed it once, and I've been on many, many medical scenes as a first responder. And I've been on several that were hit by cars. You fall back. All the blood is going to go this way. Gravity is going to pull it back. The ears will swell if it's coming out fill up with blood. If it's coming from the nose, it pulls in the ears. All the head blood from the head wound is going to be here. But when they showed his shirt, I went, The blood flowed down like he had a broken nose, or the cut on his eye or his nose bled down.
And how do you account for the vomit?
Well, the vomit is from the head wound. Now, hear me out. Say he got in a scuffle. Mm-hmm. Okay, he got punched. And he walked out and left. And then the dog got out and attacked him. He fell backwards, hit his head on the fire hydrant, stumbled, and boom. But The problem I have with that is that either way, that would not involve Karen Reed. The vomit would come from the head injury. Some of the signs of a head injury, as the brain starts to swell, they come combative. They are not as cooperative. They vomit. They do all these things. Sometimes there's foaming in the mouth. All of this stuff happens as the brain swells, and that is horrible. But what got me was you have a hard enough object sitting there, which was a fire hydrant, where a little piece of light was found, a tail lens was found. Nobody tested it for DNA. Nobody did anything with that fire hydrant, and that was the only thing in that vicinity that could cause a wound on the back of the head, as which he had.
There wasn't anything hard around the base of the flagpole?
No.
Or we just don't know because I don't take pictures?
Just the
No,
piece of the cup.
See,
Yeah.
that's it. They didn't take pictures. Nothing was written down. And how do you keep finding pieces of lenses up to 3 weeks later? It smells bad to me.
And the pieces got bigger over time as well. The tiny pieces were found, later that day, and then after everyone left and the snow melted, they started finding massive chunks.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the snowblower have uncovered that?
The
Leaf blower.
leaf blower, yeah.
Yeah.
Braxton, I'm sorry, sir. Did you just inquire to the capability and resourcefulness of this police department with a leaf blower or any other type of technology that is outside of maybe a pencil?
I thought, why didn't they're thinking the way they were thinking? I'm surprised somebody didn't say, anybody have a torch blower?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Whatever they found, at least they kept it in good evidence bags.
Mm-hmm.
One of those. Who gave it to you?
Nice.
This is from Pants. I got a Stop and Shop bag from Pants.
Hold on. Recovery Addict, do you have I was going to say, do you have solo? Yep, falling out of K. Do you have any solo cups, buddy?
Yeah, really, Scott, you need some solo cups.
Police Trenton PD evidence collection kit.
Actually, you should put a dollar bill in there and see if it eventually turns into $2.
Okay, guys, I have some friends that are evidence collection or work as investigators and whatnot, and in PD. And when we discussed this, they all but fell over in their chair. It's best to leave it there than it is to inappropriately collect it. You can put a solo cup over.
Yeah, that's what I was going to suggest. Protect it by putting the solo cup over it. And at least that marks where it's at, and you can take a picture.
Well, they didn't even mark where his body was, and that was something somebody was arguing with me about. And I said, think about it. Where he was laying, they said there was no snow under his body, which means he was there long enough. What little snow was on the ground would have been melted by the heat of his body initially. Mm-hmm. So when they got him onto the gurney and into the ambulance, they even themselves, one of them said that they knew his chance of survival was very nil. Everybody knew. When you walk up, we know that this is not going to go well. And if it does, he's never going to be the same. So why did they not flag where that body was instantly? They
knew it was a crime scene.
I'm so
They
sorry.
didn't secure it either.
But in their defense, when the medics arrive at a scene, their primary interest is not to secure the crime scene. Their primary interest is treatment. And so that's always going to be number one. And then after that, they do what they can to secure the crime scene. But they didn't do that part afterward.
He didn't. And the other thing is, a cop showed up on scene. At first, he said he didn't participate in CPR. I was all like, Karen's running back and forth, and everybody gave her hell about that. Y'all, he's the first responder. She's not. And chest compressions are far more important than the breath. It's 30 to 1. So, but I just felt from the moment they arrived on scene, it was not handled right, even from a first responder's perspective.
Yeah, and following on that, Ada K, on exactly your motif on your theme there, is the fact that it. I mean, for anybody out there that's first responder or a cop or a fireman, please, chime in the chat and everything, or even on here. But I'd really love to get your opinions on if there's a cop fatality, why aren't we pulling out every stop? You would figure out every I is dotted, every T is crossed. You're making sure whoever's going down for this gets nailed. Just every nail is perfectly in place. I mean, you have an incentive to do that, don't you? I mean, we're all human. Well, I mean, we're all human, and I know, yeah, they investigate everything the same, blah blah blah. Great, okay, we all feel better. But honestly, when it comes down to it, if it's one of your guys, I know that in the military, if you do that within like a unit of ours, man, we're gonna make sure every T is crossed, every I is dotted to make sure you burn. You know what I mean? We're gonna take that personally.
Right after the victim is gone. And I say I'm a first responder and I'm there. I treat everybody the same. I'm going to pull every ounce of whatever's in me to keep you alive. Doesn't matter who you are. But once the victim is in that ambulance, boom, everything should be on. They should be preserving, seeing. They're going to do everything above and beyond. But the other part of this is the Alberts. Scott, I sent you pictures of the inside of their home and everything. There is no way on God's green freaking earth they did not know that there was police and fire out there. That, number one, if the dog was in that house, that dog would have responded.
Absolutely.
Lights, they may have blackout curtains, but on the edges and in the middle, you're going to see it. And all of this stuff about him not knowing, there is no way they did not know when their personal bedroom. I thought in the beginning their bedroom may be in the back of the house.
It's in the front. Yeah.
It was in the front.
Right there. It's on the corner in front. They have two big windows. So
And the side window. They have a side window as well.
No, there's a picture of the back of the house I gave Scott. There's no picture on that side. Their headboard is on that side wall. On the upstairs, the downstairs there may be, but not on the upstairs because it's brick. But also, that gentleman, and I use it loosely, take it for what it is a police officer. He probably sleeps with a gun a poo-poo next to the bed. Sorry, Scott. A poo-poo next to the bed, pow, whatever you want to
bazooka. I mean, now that you've said it, let's list models.
I apologize.
40 USP compact.
Yeah.
What?
It's okay. He let me on the program, so the show's shot already. It's just
we've waved that white flag a long time ago.
Action is next to him. Anybody that comes in screaming and you're asleep, you're not going to sit there and go, oh, what's wrong, babe?
In their defense, they were drunk. They were up late. I can see somebody sleeping in a little bit, especially if the drinking happened right up to when they went to bed.
Yeah, but Scott, here's another thing that's been really bugging the crustaceans out of me. I saved it. I saved it last second. I'm perfectly behaved.
Crustaceans, nice.
Calypson, leave me alone. Doing good. Being a good boy. But no, the thing is that we didn't hear about anybody say the words, well, I had a headache. Well, I was, you know what I mean? I felt like crud. Nobody had a hangover. Not a single person had a hangover. Are you kidding me? I'm ex-military. We drink like fish all the time. You know what I mean? And we got hangovers all the time. Okay. So yeah, there's no way everybody partied till 2 or 3 a.m. She had 7 drinks, but everybody was a Satan had 2.
Well, wait.
Come on.
Wait. I would like to address the drink calculation for Karen Reed. All right. I am going to defend her on this. Okay. This is the thing. Thank you. When I go out, and I went out last night, this is how I do it. I order either a soda or a sweet tea, and I get a shot of vodka on the side. I pour half of the shot into my drink. When that's done, I ask for another. If I'm drinking soda, or if I'm drinking, whichever. I'll order another one. The other half of the shot goes in the drink. Do you know why I do that? I don't like heavy pours in my drink. I just don't. Okay. So to me, that's how I do it. And I think that's how she did it. And not to mention, it's like BOGOs. I'm getting one, buy one, get one free when I do it that way. I'm not paying full price for 2 drinks. So yeah, I always get a drink with a shot on the side. They miscalculated her drinks, and not to mention, they all were buying drinks for each other. So her receipts count for crap.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't drink. I can't drink. If I drink, well, I take it back. I could drink, but if I drink this much wine, I'm asleep for 10 hours and a tornado will go over the house and I won't wake up. I'm not really, I'm a super, 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 super featherweight. So if you want to do something in the house and me not know about it, give me some wine. But what I don't understand is the alcohol levels. Everybody's all complaining about her alcohol level. What about all of their alcohol levels?
What about John O'Keefe's alcohol level?
You want to sit there on a witness stand and say what happened that night? This is the truth, this fact. I remember every point. I wasn't drunk. I wasn't this. How do we know? If you guys are drinking as much as she supposedly was drinking and they were putting beers down, you're sitting here putting beers down and whatever, then how can I trust your testimony? Because I don't know if you're fully sober and nobody checked them. And you're driving home drunk.
Well, and see, that's the other thing. If she was so drunk, as they say she was, why do you honestly think that John O'Keefe would have let her drive? I don't think so. That's number one. And they're making a big deal out of the fact that she walked out of the bar with a drink in her hand. Well, so did he. They were all drinking. They all left with drinks. They're all drinking and driving. Every last one of them. The case is a mess. It's a colossal mess.
When it comes to drinking, the difference between Karen and some of the witnesses is that Karen wasn't driving a police car. Other than that, they pretty much all were having a good time that night.
Which technically should terrify everyone.
Here's a video they showed, I think it was yesterday, or it started showing up yesterday. And I noticed it when they showed it in court. When John O'Keefe walked out, the witnesses said he had a white clear glass when he walked out of the bar. Home at home. He had a beer. He had the beer at the bar. And he walked out with a bottle.
But they keep saying it was a rocks glass. They keep saying it. They keep saying it was a rocks glass.
I thought I saw him pick up one of her drinks, one of Karen's drinks that she left.
He didn't have a drink in each hand. Karen may have had it with her, but he walked out with a beer bottle.
Karen, well,
I got another question for the panel, okay? Because this was never addressed. The defense never addressed it, and I found it very curious. The defense never addressed it. They never used it, in other words. But the prosecution never said anything either. They never said boo about this. Why was John a pervert?
Oh, I can answer that.
Okay, because I never heard why.
Okay, now, allegedly.
Okay. Oh boy!
Okay, hang on. Right. I have to step in here. Be really, really careful.
That's why I'm saying allegedly.
Let's gloss over this as much as possible.
Rumors have it that the McAlberts have a thing about trading. Okay.
They're into Pokemon. I see what you're talking about. They're into Pokemon and pineapples.
I was right.
Yes. And trading off with each other, allegedly.
I knew it.
And that Karen heard about this And because in her mind, he's in there with those people.
So she associated all that together. Okay, that's as far as we can go there. I just
That's
No,
it.
but that-
That's all I
Plus,
got.
he needed the trip to Aruba, and she misinterpreted what she
the hug.
saw.
The hug.
That may be also what she's referring to because the woman is younger.
Well, here's the thing too, though, is that remember Recovery Addict? I said a long time ago on your show, I came on and I said, Recovery Addict, what about that lady that was on the stand that was all visceral and real angry at her? I said, what if everybody has to do their time, so to speak, and she and Karen wasn't going to do her time?
Yeah.
Wow.
We
Yeah.
have to steer clear of that conversation for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's fine. I just wanted it the last piece because I said that a long time ago, and I was like, well, what if?
That's all alleged activity.
Yes.
It is all alleged, and I don't understand why Judge Bebb even allowed the Aruba stuff to come in. It was a month prior, had nothing to do with it. Saying that he was trying to get out of the relationship. That blah 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 blah.
Wasn't there a
to
text
me-
message between Karen and John that mentioned Aruba? I think it gave context to that, and that's the only reason she would allow it in. Because other than that, it's
One of my mods sent me the entire text change, and it is in there. Can I say something, RA? And I hope you don't get mad at me for saying this. I am at 382. I'd love to get to 400.
What can somebody drop her link in the chat for me?
it has to be a
please?
mod. It has to be a mod. I'm going to bring Tisha in. Tisha, your mic's a little hot. I've got some noise on it. Are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there's a little hiss behind your audio, but that's it.
There's a lot of fans where I'm at, so if it's too loud, then,
Do you work at OnlyFans?
I'm
just kidding.
No.
What's on your mind? I'll mute you after your comment here because it's a little the hiss is pretty bad. But what's on your mind?
Sorry. I just wanted to hop in and say hi because my hubby was here. So hi, Saul, and I wanted to chat, but if it's too loud, then that's okay.
No, you're good. Thal is apparently has changed his name. It's not so perfectly behaved Thal.
Wait, what?
I don't know. It just is what it is. So, Tisha, welcome. It's funny. You guys have the whole dating thing going on through chat. So Braxton's just finding out about that now.
Well,
welcome.
Thank you. I saw somebody in chat was crushing on Braxton too.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. We just keep him around because he's eye candy.
You've got a whole dating thing going on here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What really drives the ladies crazy is when Braxton comes on and he does one of those little hair flips with his hand.
He's
right,
just showing
right
off.
there. Crowd goes wild. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
All right, Tish, I'm going to mute your channel. Pop you out. The hiss
That's
is pretty
okay.
bad.
I'll hop off. But thank you. Bye,
Thanks.
guys.
Bye, waifu.
Bye, hubby.
Jules, do you have a channel?
No. I know everybody wanted me to have one. It scares me. It's work. It's a lot of commitment. However, I do, and I'm not technically savvy, but I do have a friend that is now putting something together for me that may premiere soon.
I want to know.
Well, I'll let Scott know. Yeah, I'm kind of. It's a scary thing, and it's a commitment. And like once the Maya trial had died down, I had run into some health issues and stuff, so I backed off of the TikTok, and then I just got into a place where I wasn't moving forward, and it's only been the past 6 weeks the health has picked up and everything, and I'm back to normal. Thank you, Lord, for that. And so I'm getting back into the swing of things, and everybody's telling me instead of going back to TikTok that I should transition to YouTube, but he's working on something and he's waiting for my final approval, and we'll see. I don't know. What do you think, Scott?
I use the phrase like this often, but when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And I have the perfect solution for everyone who wants to share their message, because what works for me works for you, right? I'm a big fan of this platform. I've been on TikTok. I got a lot of exposure on TikTok, but it wasn't what I wanted. It was hard to convert it into the dialogue and the what I was looking for. You do much better over there than I do, but I love what YouTube offers for this type of community. I think it's great. So, but it's not for everybody. It takes a lot to put it in. The technical side of it is real, and it doesn't go away. And
So we'll see. I like doing guest spots.
It's awesome to have you on. We've seen you on a lot of different channels, so that's
I like doing the guest spots, but it is what it is. But we'll see. There's a lot of trials coming up here, locally, that I want to hit on. So
awesome. Lenova's asking, what was TikTok like for me? I did TikTok while I was experimenting with viral videos. I wanted to make a viral video. That was my goal. And I did a lot of research, and then I made a video, and it worked. And I got 16.2 million views and 55,000 sort of followers, and I made, I think, $600. But that was in about a month and a half. So it was fun. It was very hard to convert people from watching a TikTok to joining a YouTube page or subscribing on Facebook or anything else. They like to scroll, and they like the click like button, but that's about it. But
we'll see. I don't know what the future is going to bring. I'm just happy to wake up every morning.
We're now at let's see, 1:41 by my clock, which means they've got about a little less than 2 hours left of possible deliberation today. If they are starting over, I'm surprised it's been this long. But the jury obviously feels like they got their hands slapped and sent back to work. They've eaten lunch, they finished lunch, now deliberating for about an hour after that. So
I think that because of what the judge said to them, this afternoon is going to be intense in that jury room, because these people want out. They're done. They're over it. So either some hands are going to be forced, or by 5 o'clock, they're going to send in a note saying, we are definitely hung, and that there is no possible way that we can come to an agreement.
Lax Subtle corrected me. Lunch is from 1 to 2, so they're still having lunch right now.
It'll be over in 10 minutes.
I hope it's a working lunch. It's like, hey, please pass a napkin and the evidence.
I would expect.
Send me the solo cups, please. Need another solo cup.
I would expect that they are working through lunch. But Scott, did you experiment with your vehicle going backwards at 24 miles an hour? Because I tried it in a parking lot, and I didn't get past 10 miles without literally, I thought I was going to lose control of my car. And there was no snow.
I have done reverse. I've loved driving in reverse since I was a kid. I'm pretty much like Mater when it comes to that. So give me an open parking lot and I can do it. On a road, I'm a little more nervous, especially if there's cars and mailboxes and things like that. So that's fast in reverse, but I can do it. I can drive that speed in reverse. Not sure if I'd get up to it in 60 feet. In snow, that's when I usually practice. So yes.
Okay.
I was fine driving in reverse, especially rear wheel drive or a front wheel drive vehicle in reverse, and you drive really fast, and then you get a little bit off angle, and the whole car just swings around. It starts spinning donuts.
Yes, it's fun.
Yeah. So you can do it. You just can lose control quickly.
What in the world?
Rob topped out at 15 to 19 in the snow. It's harder in a long vehicle like a station wagon that I drove as a kid. Welcome back, Kristen.
Hello, how are you?
Doing well.
I was thinking about this. When I was in my 20s, a long time ago, I was actually hit by a car that was pulling out of a parking space in a grocery store. Now, obviously, they weren't going 24 miles an hour. They were going a whole lot slower than that. But, and I was bruised. I was big time bruised. So, if she was going even 10 miles an hour, and hit him, I would suspect that there would have been bruising.
Yeah. I think that debunked that alone, the bruising issue debunked the state's theory of how the car struck Mr. O'Keefe on its own.
Scott, did you get the police report from, I think it was 2019, with the photos of Paul O'Keefe's car accident, DUI charge?
Is that the civilian or the death? The 1994 one?
No. That would have been the Albert.
The Albert. Okay.
That was the Albert. But John O'Keefe, it was either 2019 or 2020. I'll send it to you. In the police report, it states that he was going, ironically, 24 miles an hour, and he improperly changed lanes and had an accident. If you saw that, and they also had the photo of the vehicle, the car was demolished, and he was charged.
Pictures. Oh my God!
You saw it? Okay. And did you read the report?
I haven't seen this one.
Ironically, 24 miles an hour at the point of impact, and he was charged with, driving while intoxicated and all of that stuff. Guess who bailed him out, and guess who paid for his attorney fees?
I'm guessing that's somebody we met in court already.
Ms. Reed.
Mm-hmm.
Testing.
Ms. Reed.
We hear testing, Thal. It's working.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Angela's joining us back. Vern has a question. Does the body bruise after death? Would bruising have had time to show up? That's a good point, but I would say yes, because we had bruising in the head where he was hit. There was bruising inside. I would say yes, that there was time to show up. Plus, there was bleeding. As long as there's bleeding, external blood, like we found the blood in the snow, there should have been bruising in the body.
If he was hit by the car, let's say the Commonwealth's theory is correct. She backed into him. His main injury is sustained to the back of the head. He only had a thing here, and a little abrasion on the knee. Let's forget about the arm. I tried to figure out how the heck did this happen to him without anything else on his body being broken, bruised up. So was he like bent over and his head down? I mean, how could it happen? I tried all ways to figure out how this accident took place, and I can't figure his placement for her to back into him.
Angela, do you have a thought on that?
Yes, I did some based on Trooper Paul's data that he shared. I did some calculations based on what I know in physics, and it's impossible for that to happen on that street. There's an option on Google Drive that you can draw on maps, Google Maps, and you can even
see how far the distances between 2 points, and you can't do that on usual Google Maps. So I calculated how big the yard is, how even the length of the yard and the width of the street and width of the yard and length of the house across the street. In order for that to happen, and in order for Karen to hit him, she has to start driving from the yard across the street in order for that to happen. It's impossible. Let's say that she did it that way. Or if she did it the other way, as in she drove, as if she didn't start from the, let's say, from the yard across the street, but from the, like she backed like this, how, like she, like they say that she, like Jennifer said that she just she saw the car moving. She saw from first where their parking is, then at the where the hydrant was. So if she moved like that, she either had to have started chasing him from the neighboring yard, or she would have ended up in the yard next to the, like, it's either way. She wouldn't have been able to start the chase from, like, on the 34th ferry. Just not possible based on the length of that street and the width. Not the street, just the whole yard.
The math doesn't add up. And any way you try to build it, you can't recreate the scenario using a dummy. You can't put his body where it ended up based on what the state thinks happened. There's just, and for Trooper Paul to get up there and say that you can't use physics in calculating what would happen here because the size ratio's off. Even in his own calculations, which he tried, he says you have to severely overestimate the speed of the car to get his body to fly where he wants it to be.
Well, don't forget, though, Trooper Paul said the crime scene spoke to him and stuff.
As someone who works in a science center, well, worked until recently, I might continue in the fall, I don't know. There is no such a thing as the crime scene spoke. The science spoke to us. You know how it speaks to us? With the results. That way it speaks. We see the result in front of us. It speaks. It's possible. It's not possible. Black and white. No gray zone. No whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, Angela, I got to give you some pushback. First off, okay, the crime scene spoke to him. He took crystals out and said a little seance dance, and it came to him in little vapors of incense and special dancing. Okay, so that's number one. Okay, so right there, debunked. And number two, okay, my theory, did your calculations take into account if he was Spider-Man or Superman? No, they didn't. Boom, win for me. Still making W's.
If he was Superman, he would have lived through the impact.
That's not the point.
Just bounced.
But I have another debunking. Scott, I sent you a link in the private chat from the chart that I made. All the links.
You want me to share it?
Yeah, it's the temperature that night from the canton. It's the public information. All the links are there, and based on that, that he couldn't have been there from like 1 a.m. It's impossible.
Okay, give me
and
just a second.
You can't account for how many people, especially the kids, the Nagel group, they didn't see anything. Nobody saw anything. Nobody saw the Ford Ed. I mean, this is like crazy. And the plow truck driver. I gotta believe that guy. He did 3 passes, and he said there was nobody on that lawn at 2:30 in the morning.
You see how cold it is? It's like I put both in Celsius and kilometer per hour. So for people who, it's like extremely cold, and you have wind and chill, which is like real field temperature.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go down, you see how far, how the kicks in the hypothermia. So it would have taken him for up to 45 minutes if he was still alive to die from hypothermia.
How can you do the math on the body? If he was say normal body temperature and did get hit at that time, based on the temperature, if he had died, okay, we assume he was dead, right? I know they didn't call him dead until he was in the hospital a while later, you know. But how did the body cool down at the right rate for the time this happened?
Well, they took his body temperature at 80.1 when he was in the hospital. So his body temperature should have been around 75-ish, because it takes a while to warm somebody up. It didn't happen like that. And so I would estimate about 75. And yeah, as far as his heartbeat, they did say they found a sinus rhythm on him once they got him into the EMS. So we'll never know if he was actually deceased and they brought him back or not.
Well, I was thinking conventional thinking is if he had a heartbeat, he's not dead yet.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean he's going to get better.
No.
Now,
Couldn't have been normal.
well, now that we have Braxton back, Atta K, I have a question for you, and Angela. It's a scientific as well as a first responder question. Now, if Braxton is within 5 feet of the person needing to warm up and he does the hair flip, how much quicker does their body temperature rise in that case? Because this is could what happened. Braxton could have drove by, flipped his hair, and we just don't know. Okay, see right there you go. He just raised the temp by 10 degrees right there. I'm feeling hotter already.
For a couple viewers, particularly.
Happen about as fast as a dead snail can crawl.
I tried, Braxton. I'm sorry, bro.
I have a question. I don't know if anybody else caught it, but didn't one of the kids say that Colin was not there the same time as John was?
Yes.
That was, yeah.
Would that not infer that John was there?
Yeah.
That's how I picked that. I picked that up. And what about Brian Higgins when he finally admitted, first it was like, no, the guy didn't come in there. Well, I saw a guy come in, tall guy with dark hair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, wait a minute. What about when Jen McCabe sat there and said what she said? She let the little birdie slip.
She sure did.
Say that one more time. What part was that?
McCabe let the little birdie slip in court when she said, what was it she said when so-and-so wasn't there because Colin wasn't there when John was?
That part.
She slipped that in court. And that's right after she said that, she went to her little crying fit.
Exactly. I'm not on trial here. I am a witness in this case. And my family has been harassed. Yeah.
Is that a recording? Does that sound like a recording?
Oh, no. She was Jules doesn't do her justice. She was much more shrill and entitled. That was, oh my Lord.
That woman is never going to live down. Jen!
I thought it was great, her interaction with the attorney where she was like, and you posted mean things online bullying me. And the attorney goes, I didn't post anything.
I'm sorry. I have a friend named Jennifer and I love her to death, but I would love to have that on my phone when she called.
I know how to edit videos and audio. I can do it for you.
I was just going to say, I'm sure that can be done.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had Logic Pro so I can do that as well.
We've gone off the rails here. I apologize. We probably strayed in some areas we probably shouldn't as well. I owe some apologies, probably to a few witnesses, a couple of people who were watching court, maybe a few viewers as well. So apologies all around. I'll try harder.
Apologies. We're sorry.
So
this is 9 weeks of 8 hours a day turns out to be.
Well, for Jules, just real quick, and for the audience, Recovery Addict, if they're This is just YouTube advice if you're planning to form a channel. I've been doing it for 8 years. You've been doing it for 3.5, I think, 4 years now, Recovery Addict, on YouTube?
Trying for quite a while.
Yeah.
3 months.
But yeah, 3 months. There you go. So some good advice for anybody that's going to get a YouTube channel. First things first, don't worry about the algorithm. Don't worry about anything else. If you get trolls in your comment section, there's this beautiful little button called hide user from channel. Use it every time. Do not respond, because the thing is they can see their own comments. They can even comment in the videos, but you can't see it. Nobody else can either. It's beautiful.
Oh,
It's the most wondrous thing in the world.
They're yelling into the ether.
It's
I
called
did
hide.
not know that.
Go to their comment and hit hide user from channel. It doesn't block them. You still get the revenue from their views too, which is the greatest thing in the world. So they can hate watch you all they want. Oh yeah, they can even watch your streams, but they still can't comment. It's wonderful.
Oh,
What's that? Do you know
I
one?
need to write this
That's
down
beautiful.
because I'll forget.
You're a lard ass.
Yeah, and the other thing is, and this is what I told Recovery Addict when he was, I think Recovery Addict was like 5 or 10,000, somewhere in there in subs. And he had already had this in his head, so smart guy. Full credit to Recovery Addict. He didn't need my advice on this one. But pickles, not politics. Keep whatever's on your channel, keep that theme. Never dip into drama, never dip into politics. Treat it like a radioactive wasteland. Stay away. Because if you make a comment, if you make a comment, other creators will take that you're stepping into their lane, and they'll take fire at you. So just
there are enough things that we can agree on that we don't need to focus on the things we don't. So that's where I start on.
Well, the thing is I need to come up with a catchphrase like "pickles, no politics."
Oh, you will eventually. Just let it naturally happen. It's or get me on a live stream, and I'll get your channel taken down because I'm in. Well,
thing, come join me, and you can hop on anytime. I'm looking for people to hop on. I like.
Hey, hit me up. Hit me up.
Guest here.
Hop on when you see me, and I'll let you on.
I subbed today, so I'll be on the lookout.
Recovery Addict, you want to give them the advice that they should never ever let me on without a guardrail?
I will say I have had a talk with
it
Paul.
doesn't matter if you're not monetized.
Well, I was going to say I'm doing a fun Friday night fun night, and that's where I like to have people come on.
Yeah, it's good fun. I'm a huge fan of this platform. I'm a huge fan of the community in general, because this community is awesome. First of all, they're thinkers more than just like entertain me. So we get a lot of different ideas. We get a lot of different professions. You get people representing every field you can imagine out here. I mean, we have, like, you look in chat, we have people who are electronics experts, people who could correct the cell phone experts and the DNA experts when they go wrong. We've got all that here in this amazing community. And so it's just a lot of fun to hang out with y'all. It's just awesome. It's the best job in the world. Literally. If you want to do this, huge fan. Seriously, people call me all the time and say, "Hey, can you give me some advice?" Yes, I would love to. If you need a hand getting started, I encourage this. I don't think that there's a scarcity mentality out there among content creators often that think that, if I have let somebody else or tell somebody else how I'm doing this, then they're going to take my viewers and I won't, I won't be able to do what I want to do. The internet is huge. It's massive. There are so many people out there. There are so many people who haven't discovered what you're interested yet in. And if you were just out there, they would find it, and you would find an amazing audience for you. So I'm a huge fan of doing it. Don't listen to what the haters say. Do you. Be you. Start small. Don't overinvest. Start with what you have. I don't know why I got on this tech topic, but
no,
give me a call.
It's great advice. It really is great advice. The only problem is that what we're into, there's so many true crime, trial watches, all of that out there, that it's the competition is great. And I like going to trial. So how do I with TikTok? It was easy because while I'm in the courthouse or whatever, I could click, go downstairs and make a TikTok and put it out there and go back into court or call Scott. But how do you do that with a YouTube? How do you do that? You can't.
As far as just going live with YouTube?
Yeah, if I'm in court observing a trial.
Yeah. The problem with YouTube is the option is there, but you have to be monetized first. You have to have 1,000 subscribers, and then they'll let you go live from mobile. So I can go live from mobile like I could on TikTok now, but I couldn't just starting out. So you need to have the channel before you get the ability, which YouTube does backwards there.
And another thing you could do, Jules, that I thought about doing this for RA, just because I'm retired, I have money, and I don't care.
Nice.
Yeah. I had to go to war for 3 years for it, but I got it. But
Thank you for your service, by the way.
Oh, it's not a problem, sweetheart. It's just a job. But the thing what I was thinking of doing was going into whatever case RA's currently covering, like a big one like this one, go into the courtroom and then watch the jurors, take notes as you're watching the jurors. And then at halftime or lunch break, whatever, what you do is you come outside, you give RA a call, and you say, okay, when they said this, juror 2 looked like this, juror 4 looked like this. And you can.
Yeah, that's what I did. I did for him for Kowalski versus J Hatch.
Oh, there you go. See, there's your niche, hon. There's your side niche.
Yes, but how does that work for me having my own channel? I mean, I love calling in and giving Scott the lowdown, but
for
somebody like me, I can't have a channel. That's where I'm struggling. I can't.
The problem is it has to do with fair use and using existing video. When there's another channel, a lot of news channels, we can use stuff with fair use. We have to add commentary. We have to add value. We have to do certain things to make it legal for us to use their feed, even without their permission. That's why I started Top Mark Media, is because I want to start bringing those feeds to people who are in the courtroom and who want to share something on their channel and not have to provide, constantly pausing it or talking over it. You'll see a lot of bigger channels, they'll constantly pause court to talk just to make sure they're still in the fair use category. I want to change it a little bit. I want to make it so that I can bring you court and be in court and bring you commentary on the same channel. And that's sort of how I'm doing it. So
that's interesting.
Oh, did I I'll put you back in the green room. Sorry. Ada, did you want to be out of the green room, or did you disappear?
I don't know what happened? Everything just went whoop.
Oh,
you froze.
My internet went down.
It was the FBI, Ada K. What'd you do? That's the FBI right there. What'd you do, Ada K?
Okay, so here's what I want to say. We're at 2:00. They've got 2.5. They've got an hour and a half left of deliberation. It's time for the weekend. I'm going to call it that we're not going to have a verdict tonight.
I'm going to say they're going, at the end of the day, they're going to say we are hopelessly deadlocked. And put Judge Bev in a position where she's going to have to call it.
I think Lenova, I think you're right. I think the judge has a more formal option for an Allen charge that's still on her playlist. So I don't think, I think she might give them that and then tell them to come over the weekend, come back on Monday. We'll see.
What was that charge she said this morning? I never heard of it. I can't remember what it was, but I'm like, what is she talking about?
I could rewind on the stream here. I think it was actually Mr. Yannetti who brought it up. Let's see.
I'm going to say I love everyone, and I'm out of here. I'm going to run away. Love you guys.
We'll see you all.
Even though I don't know you. Rodriguez charge. Thank you, lazy retired lady. That's what it was. What is a Rodriguez charge? Does anyone know?
Hang on. We're going to do a replay of what they said here in court. This is a replay. This is not live.
In the
see if I
meantime,
can.
I'm going to Google Rodriguez charge.
You are unmuted.
Anybody who wants to join me tonight, 7 Central Time.
This is not live.
Back on the record,
This is a replay.
22117, the Commonwealth versus Karen Reed.
Okay.
Is it live?
No,
All right,
this
so
is a replay.
Counsel, you're aware of
This is a
a
replay.
note from the jury.
We're going to skip ahead.
Simply hasn't been sufficient time yet.
And what does the defense say?
We believe that there has been sufficient.
All right, so I'll hear from both of you in more detail. Mr. Lally, I will hear you.
Your Honor, the jury received this case
This is delayed. Tape
earlier
delayed.
this week. They've had slightly shortened days, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form suggesting that they haven't.
I'm going to skip
conducted
Lally.
their due
I want to
diligence
hear just Mr. Yannetti.
All right,
Here we
thank you. Mr. Yannetti, I'll hear you.
Your Honor, I would disagree with Mr. Lowry's characterization of the note. The word exhaustive is the word I think that's operative here. They're communicating to the court that they've exhausted all manner of compromise, all manner of persuasion, and they're at an impasse. This is a case where the jury has the legal instructions. They've only really asked one question, which was to try to get a report that they were not allowed to get. And I think the message has been received that the evidence is closed. They won't get anything more. They've been working essentially nonstop over the last 3-4 days. We're approaching a weekend. They didn't come back with this at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. They're at 12 o'clock and they have nowhere to turn. So our position is the jury should be read the Tui Rodriguez model instruction and go from there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so you all know that it is
That's all. That's
within
all I
my
needed from
discretion.
that.
I
Hang on just one
decide.
second.
So,
I'm the boss.
It says here, a Rodriguez charge doesn't have a widely recognized legal definition. What does,
Up to
I
the
don't know what that means.
judge.
Whatever.
It just means that it's probably not as formal as an Allen charge.
She's gonna have, if I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't she have a legal duty to give the Allen charge?
Not in Massachusetts. It's a state by state thing. Some states don't have it at all. I'm looking at the Commonwealth versus Isaac Rodriguez, the case itself, to see what the background was on that one. And in that one, I think the judge removed a juror, sat an alternate, and then told them to start over.
Ooh, that'd suck.
Yeah, it was improper. She apparently the holdout juror. Okay, hang on. On appeal, defendants argued that the judge improperly discharged juror 13, apparently a holdout juror on a then deadlocked jury, for comments that she made about other jurors while she was on a cellular telephone in the jury room, failed to instruct the reconstituted jury properly on her reasons for the discharge of juror 13, and conducted an incomplete voir dire of the jury regarding their consideration of the statute that one of them had found on the internet. This jury sounds like a mess. They've got cell phones and they're on the internet. And that the jury referenced on their complaints about juror 13. Okay, so this might have been the case that set up the instruction. I don't know. I have to dig through it. It's a lot to read here.
Yeah, it's confusing as well.
I don't know. I think we don't have a verdict tonight, and I think we call it early weekend. If nothing else, this will inspire the jury, knowing that we're not live anymore, to promptly reach a conclusion and come back and join us and have a verdict.
True enough, but then we have 4th of July. What is that? Wednesday? Yeah, I think it's either Wednesday or Thursday.
If we don't have a verdict today, I don't think we're having a verdict next week. This jury's hung.
Break out the flow charts.
What are the chances that when the jury comes back, when the jury talks to the press or whoever, that they say that they're like not guilty from the start, from the jump, but there was one who was holding them, and that's what was going on this whole time.
Well,
Probably pretty likely.
I just got a text message from someone who is there, because I asked specifically about, because she's a reporter and she's in the courtroom. She just finally got back to me, and she said that they all appear to be in good spirits. Like no one looked mad or moody, or from what she sensed. The only thing she says here is what she said to me earlier, that there were two women that were vigorously nodding their heads up and down when the judge said, go back. So
that strikes me as a foreman who has reached a conclusion without the agreement of the jury. Because usually the jury has to, the foreman's supposed to speak for the jury. This is why we pull the jury when there's a verdict. If in case the foreman came out and just has written a letter and said, this is the way it is, this is the way we're filling out the form, you guys have to deal with it. We get that just so we know that everyone actually is on board with what the foreman said.
And she said they were all dressed up. The women were in dresses, the men were in suits. One had a bow tie on. Does that sound familiar? One had a bow tie. But yeah, she said two of the women were going, like, yeah, they wanted to go back. So you think the four person took a liberty here?
Well, the four-person said they're hopelessly deadlocked, right? And if you've got two people saying yes, send us back to deliberate, or it's either that or yes, give us lunch. Those are the two options from that. And I don't think it's the lunch one. Usually you're not that emphatic about receiving lunch unless you're really hungry. I don't know. I think we call it here. I think we've this was the only other thing we can do to this. Our version of the Allen charge is to call the live stream, turn it off, and let the jury think they can sneak one by us.
If you in the live stream, they'll come back.
Yeah. I want to say thank you to Braxton, Jules, Angela, Sim, Ada K, Thal was in there. Everybody who's been a member. We've had quite a few people jump on and share whether it's the thoughts on the case or just the pets or just saying hello, or even if you just jumped on to say hi to your future internet husband, Tisha. So thank you.
No.
But that's awesome. We've had a fun day. I'm going to say let's start the weekend now. And
hopefully I'll see some of y'all tonight.
Yeah.
All right.
You're going to be on tonight. Thanks, Ada. Appreciate it.
What time are you going on? 7?
7 Central Time.
Oh, what is that for me?
8.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Blessings. Y'all be safe.
All right. We'll see you, Ada.
Your weekend.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Braxton, thanks for keeping the OnlyFan up there. Appreciate your comments today. Good luck to you. I reach out if we need to talk about some options for you. So I think Angela stepped away for a minute. So we'll pop her off there. Braxton, you're muted. You're muted. Like on your side, not on my side. Why can I not hear you? Talk again. Nope. You're completely quiet. I don't know why. On my side, it says it's working.
Not my
Now I can hear you.
Yep. Yeah. Give me a call. There's a lot of stuff we got to talk about.
Sounds good. Is there somebody behind you?
No. My camera is really bad and doesn't do the exclusion well, and my room is not for public view at the moment.
Okay. It looked like somebody's hand was behind you. They were like standing behind you. So, all right. Awesome. shoot me a text on the burner phone, so put your number back on top, because
will do.
My burner phone has lost all names associated with numbers.
Oh.
So, thank you very much, Braxton. Have
a good one.
A good one. We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye. All right, so now it's just me and OnlyFan. We're gonna call it. The weekend is gonna begin. Of course, as soon as I do this, you know what's gonna happen. We're gonna have motion in the court, and we're gonna be summoned back to the Judge Beverly's courtroom for that. It's been a fun day today. Appreciate everybody. Thanks to the mods for keeping things in order, even though I sort of throw it into chaos. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again on Monday morning or sooner if Judge Beverly has something to say about it. But Monday morning. You guys have a good weekend. It's if you're in the United States, we're the weekend before the 4th of July. It's going to be really busy next weekend, so make sure you do something fun this weekend as well. And stay safe. Be good to each other. Been a lot of fun. What else? Have a salad. I'm going to make a salad right now. I've not eaten lunch yet, so we will make a salad. You guys are amazing. Catch you on the flip side. We'll see you. Bye-bye. Oh, my camera's frozen. That's nice. This one works. There we go. I have to go. And this one. There. Perfect. First try. You guys have fun. Appreciate it. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.
I was kicked back, taking it easy.
This is not Burger King. People do not get to have it their way. Because he's the guy.